Today, call me Snake. Or you can call me Techno Funk Boy. It's fine too. Welcome. Thank you all for tuning in. This is Everything Board Games, and I am your host for today, Paul, otherwise known as the Techno Funk Boy. So, a while back, and I'll put the link up here in the corner if you're interested. A while back, I reviewed kind of a sampler starter set for a tabletop role-playing system called Everyday Heroes. Now, the point of Everyday Heroes, there's a couple of points here. The first was the system itself, which was taking 5th edition and kind of modernizing it and setting it in the modern world. And there was a lot of cool things going on in that system, but the real question that was outstanding was, how were they going to pull off the second point of the system, which is to bring tabletop role-playing games into the cinematic universes of various movies? So the idea here was that you were going to, take your favorite action adventure, whatever movies, and be able to play them. So this is an idea that could go very, very right or very, very wrong. Well, they very, very recently gave me a copy of the first 2 adventures from this system, from this set, that we're going to be able to take a look at. The first one that we're going to look at today is Escape from New York. Now, in the first season of these games, there's going to be several other ones. The other one I'm going to review is The Crow, so that's coming up next. So please do like, subscribe, hit the buttons, and we're gonna be hitting that next. But there are all sorts of different universes that these games, the Everyday Hero system, can be used in. And so I was kind of excited because I was finally gonna get the answer to the real questions that I was having. Like I said, this could go very, very wrong in that, it's just a beat by beat redo of the movie itself, and you're just kind of going through and perhaps saying all the iconic lines, because why wouldn't you? And it'd be kind of dumb. Or they could take it seriously. I'm happy to say, with Escape from New York, they took it seriously, and it's very cool. So let's talk about it a little bit. The first thing is, I got to rewatch the movie with the excuse of, look, I'm prepping, right? I'm prepping for a game, for a review here, which is always a good time. It's always a good time. There's never a bad day for Escape from New York film. What this game does is there's several different sections here. The first section is bringing you in to the universe of the film. And so it's taking everything we learned from the film itself, and then it's fleshing it out. It's adding to it. It's adding depth to the different areas of the setting of Manhattan, and who are the different characters, who are the different gangs and sects in the town. It's going to tweak the kind of the base Everyday Heroes rules to give a few more options that especially fit into this world. It gives sample adventure character sheets for the adventure, and also throws in a actually really good section of ideas for adventures in this world. We're going to get to that in just a bit. Then it gives an adventure, and it's cool. It's cool. So it's not a beat by beat redo of the movie. It's a different story, but it's similar enough that you're going to feel it. You're going to feel like this is similar to the movie. And so the twists and turns are going to be a surprise because we are in a different story. It takes place actually before the film. And so it's near enough in time that you're going to have a lot of the same iconic characters hanging around. But it is a different a different goal and a different way to get there. In particular, this adventure is that somehow an atomic bomb got snuck onto the island, and your party is sent to go disarm it and get it out of there. So, like in the movie, there's a time limit here, and there's a constant race, racing against the clock. Like the movies, you're going to see a lot of the different types of prisoners around town. You're going to run into some that are some of the characters that you've seen before. You're going to be visiting, like in the movie, you're going to be visiting iconic locations in town. And like in the movie, there's going to be some distractions. There's going to be some rabbit holes. There's going to be some getting waylaid and having to turn left when you meant to turn right. And each section is going to lead into some other area of town. One thing I love about the movie is how John Carpenter really makes you feel the locations. The sets on Escape from New York, actually one of my favorite parts. The settings in this adventure are memorable in a lot of the same ways. And so you're not going to go through the same beats. You're not going to have a boxing match with somebody, but you're going to be going down that same kind of frantic path of all the insanity happening at once as you try to progress through this adventure. It's set up in 3 different acts, and so it's beefy. This is something that, depending on how long you actually play, it's probably not going to be a one shot. You're going to spend some time here, and so the amount of detail they put into the game is something that I really, really appreciated. A quick note: there's a link in the book that is going to take you over to Syrinscape. And if you haven't used Syrinscape, I use Syrinscape all the time in my gaming, but it's just an atmosphere sound effect system that, the point is to enhance your game, to give it give your settings a little bit more of an audible They have a set for this game, as I believe they have planned for all of them. So I had to check it out because John Carpenter's scores are always the best. I am a fan. They do a fantastic job with it. Now, it is a separate thing from this adventure. Like, the adventure is on its own. If this is something you're interested in, this is through Syrinscape, and there'll be a separate charge over there. And so I just wanted to mention it because if you're like me and you like the way John Carpenter movie sounds and you like the way this movie sounds, Syrinscape did a pretty darn good job of it. And so if that's your bag, that's something to check out. And so back to this. The adventure the adventure is pretty fun. It's pretty good. But I really appreciated that they gave several ideas for dungeon masters for other adventures in town. And they filled out the town enough where you're going to be able to do more here than the one adventure. And I appreciate that because, when I'm looking to run something, I tend to like, I tend to like interconnected adventures and such. And certainly, like, doing several adventures in this universe isn't going to be for everyone. Maybe your players really just want to get that that sort of kick of an adventure in the movie itself, and then they're fine and they're ready to move on to something else. But if they really like it here, there's more you can do. And so, big kudos for that. I think this is all a part of Everyday Heroes taking this world seriously. And in doing so, has really fleshed it out and given us a lot here to do. And so, as I mentioned early on, the thing about this that I was wary of is the individual movies that are going to be picked. How thorough are we going to be? How seriously are we going to take it? Is it just going to be a scene one from the movie? Now you act it out. Now you say this line, or is it going to be something more substantial? That was my concern with the project as a whole early on, and I'm thrilled to say that Escape from New York has really gone a long way to take away those fears and to make me excited about the project as a whole. And so I have The Crow on deck. I haven't read it yet. Like I did with this movie, I'm going to rewatch The Crow, which also never a bad idea. Rewatch The Crow and then dive into the property. And I'm now where before I was hesitant but optimistic, I'm now excited about this project. And so, as always, links are down below. Check out the other titles they have in store for season 1. There's honestly, this was not the one I was excited about. There was some other ones that I was really, really pumped about. This one I'm like, yeah, okay. I mean, that's a great movie, and it turned out to be really good. And so I'm really interested in what they're going to do with the movies I was more interested, like The Crow, like Total Recall. Those are the kind of movies that I'm really interested to see what they do. And so, as I mentioned before, please do like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, visit everythingboardgames.com for more reviews. Subscribe on YouTube for more videos. The Crow is coming up very, very soon. As soon as I can dig into that one, we're going to be up here talking about it. And so really appreciate y'all, and we will see you next time. Take care.